Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV for our ETF2L Season 42 Week 2 game between top5rocket and Venomcrest Pythons. My name is Lucky, and so I'm joined by Dr. Underscore on production and Samski as my co-cast. How's it going, bud?
Yeah, good, thank you. How you doing?
Absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. I'm so excited to cast a top5rocket game ever since I spotted Elikor on the roster. This guy is a bit of a nuke, and I can't wait to see him back in the game, especially since he's playing against a Yax and brand spanking new roster. Looking at these rosters, Samski, what was the first thing that you looked at and you're like, wow, these rosters are going to go and clash in this game?
Well, I mean, both teams are known for chaos, so I guess it's just going to be who can be more chaotic than the other. But yeah, both teams don't really like to give up space and like to fight for everything. And given the new time limit as well, I think that really goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah, we totally forgot about the 5-minute time limit last time that we casted, and when it just popped into effect and the round reset, we got very confused. But the top5rocket roster, just to run it out for everyone, if you don't know, is Elikor, Patchouli, Azian, Duo, Neo, and Korbak. This roster is absolutely star-studded with all the best French talent that is currently in the game, in my personal opinion. I mean, especially Elikor, for one, big Elikor fanboy here, but Korbak is a beast. He is just a special kind of soldier player, don't you think?
Yeah, he's got his own special playstyle that he's made, his own. Yeah, no, he's an extremely good soldier. Probably one of the best roamers to ever touch the game from the Europe region, at least. Very, very, very consistent, very good at sacking, and just overall really solid player. Not many mistakes from him.
Yeah, always pretty good. And also we got Patchouli on the medic class. He's been in Prem the least amount of time out of everyone on that particular roster, but have you watched much Patchouli medic as time's gone on? I assume you must have played with him at some point or another, right?
Yeah, I think I've come across him a couple of times, but I've not really watched him play before. So, as you allude to, he's definitely the least experienced and the newest player on this roster. I mean, he's still, I guess, now you can class as a bit of a veteran. He's played multiple seasons in Prem, but I definitely think that he's the least experienced, given that most of these players on this star-studded roster have been playing for 5-6 years at the top level. So.
Absolutely forever, but I think Patch definitely shows up. Like every game that I watch him in, he's a joy to watch. Where he's ducking and diving pipes and stuff. It's great to see. But enough about top5rocket. We do have Venomcrest Pythons on the other side, aka the Yak team, because it's got Yak on it. And that's how we just refer to it every single time. But it's got Hai, Vanu, Tiram, KN, Yak, and Poi as the roster. So we've got some familiar Yak team faces. Tiram and KN have been darting around those teams, and Vanu as well. But picking up Hai, aka Nuthouse, on this roster. What's your opinion when you first saw this roster?
Yeah, I think actually a few of these guys have played together on other teams that didn't include Yak. I'm pretty sure. I remember playing against a team with Nuthouse and KN on the same team. And yeah, so I think a lot of these guys have been playing with one another, on and off in different rosters for a number of seasons. I think Poi's the only person that I know that is completely new to this this team and these players. But he's a very solid medic, and yeah, I think they did well in the first week official. I think they're definitely looking to, just cause upsets, and obviously I'm pretty sure that all of them are going to land. So, yeah, they're looking to grind that time before LAN and try and perform when it actually matters, on the big stage.
On the big stage at LAN. I honestly cannot wait. For those of you who aren't aware, by the way, Insomnia69, Team Fortress 2 will be there. So be there or be square. And if I see you at the bar, I'll buy you a drink, because I'm pretty much said to everyone I'll buy them drinks at this point. So just be there. It's going to be great fun. But this roster is starting to look pretty serious. I mean, this is I watched the first official for Yak's team, and I think it's the most disciplined I've ever seen a Yak roster ever. So I think this is going to be one of the teams which is, like you said, going to cause some upsets. I mean, Yak teams aren't known for doing that. They took points off Witness Gaming, with the only team to do it throughout an entire season previously. So let's see if we can get some more of that magic going on. And in their first official, they actually drew. But speaking about their draw, they actually lost on Gully Wash. And fun fact for you, top5rocket went to a golden cap on Gully Wash as well. So some very mixed gameplay on Gully Wash. So based off the points alone, you can't say it, but based on these rosters, who would you give the upper hand on Gully Wash?
I'm going to give it to the Frenchies just because I think that, it's so difficult. I just think the experience might just hand it to them, but Yak's team are just so aggressive. And I mean, I was going to say the Soldier DM on the Frenchies is better, but you've got KN. KN's got some of the best Soldier aim that I've seen in a very long time. He's one of those guys that's grinded MG until his hands bleed. And so I really think that, it's going to be really close. I think one thing you did mention is the fact that they were a bit more composed than usual Yak teams are in seasons. So I definitely think that if they play like that and they can stick to their guns, but then also have that aggressive playstyle when time needs it, then they're going to do very well today. But I feel like the way that the Frenchies usually play, where it's a bit more chaotic, might drag the Yak team, or VNC. I should call them VNC, not the Yak team, into that, drag them more into that traditional playstyle where they get into that feeding thing. Yak had a bit of a reputation in Prem of trying to make too much happen by himself, and so kind of just feeding. So I really hope that they don't get into that playstyle and they just really stick to their guns. But it's going to be interesting, especially on this map.
Yeah,
I think they've got a lot to prove.
Yeah, I feel like they've really adjusted to that playstyle with Yak, though. I feel like he's kind of told them that how he wants to play the game, and they're playing around him. Like, I saw on the first official they played where they had like essentially double pocket scout the whole game, and then they just sat above Yak, let Yak walk forwards, and the soldiers would go bomb him. Both soldiers would get immediately evaporated by the scouts, and they just kind of continued playing that playstyle. But Gully Wash, that's kind of harder to do. I mean, you're going to have your demo up on that high ground, but if he starts walking forwards, the scouts have a very small area in which to jump around in, so you just got to pray that they're not going to get absolutely demolished. But we were talking about the DM of KN. I couldn't agree more. But Tiram has actually been showing up quite a lot. Last 2 seasons, he's been really, really performing. So the soldier combo of VNC is looking kind of terrifying. But when it's in comparison to Duo and Korvac, you got a tall order in your hands for these experienced players. But speaking of which, soldier players, we've got AZN popping over back to the scout class once again. So he's been jumping here, there, and everywhere between them. So do you think AZN cheats or no?
No comment. My lore has told me not to comment without his presence.
Okay. If you think that AZN cheats, type crapper in chat, and then we'll know what the public opinion is of Prem players cheating. But we do have all 6 players in the server. And so we're just going to be waiting to see them go. But second map that we've got this week, because we are on week 2, we've got product as well. So I think that whatever we see in Gully Wash, if we just see a massive DM fest, then that's going to be a repeat on product massively.
Yeah, except one difference. I think the Frenchies are going to be absolutely rolling product. I don't see a situation where Neo and AZN do not just completely dominate the scout fight on product. And if AZN go sniper, that's even worse. And Korbak's notorious for being really, really good on product, just constantly being a nuisance, jumping behind, jumping on players. And I think one thing to note as well is Duo is such a solid soldier as well. He's really undervalued, I think, from the French, in the French community. He's one of those names that been around for a little bit now, and he's just really consistent all the time, really just putting in a good job. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think if there's going to be a close map tonight, it's definitely going to be Gully Wash. I could be eating my words, but we're about to start, so let's see. Lucky, take it away.
Yeah, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 2, top 5 Rocket versus Venomcrest Pythons, new org to the TF2 seasons. We are making our way to mid. I'm going to be watching Elikor, of course, because I'm a massive Elikor fanboy, with that beautiful burning bonnet as he makes his way into the pack, nice and equipped. Yak just about drawing, but some great damage very early on in big door. Boy, he has to eat a fight. He dies straight away. There's no medic on VNC whatsoever, so that's just in the bin. And I think that they're more than happy to just leave on the stroke side and drag them into the choke patch. He was some excellent positioning, just stuffing himself in that choke. So now all of these VNC players have just got to charge in and pray they don't get mulched in this choke point, but I don't think they're going to make it that far. But Elikor does go down, Neo goes weak, and Tiram with some very clean rockets, currently on a 3k after that mid-fight there, Sam.
Yeah, you said that Tiram's been impressive in the last couple of seasons. I have to agree. What a massive mid-fight from him. They lost Poi straight away, but Tiram couldn't have done much more. 3 massive frags on the mid, dealt with both the soldiers, and then picked up Elikor at the end there. It's just a shame that his team didn't have the health to support him and come back in. So we are going to see Patchouli with that 100% advantage. Poi has just spawned. He's sitting at 20% right now. He's going to be building up top with his team, and it looks like Yak just wants to put a little bit of pressure, but this should be quickly given up and VNC should be going back to last. I'm a bit surprised actually that none of the scouts have gone back to set up the gun already, because there's a danger here that they might get rolled to last.
Uh-oh, what's this flank play that's going on right now? We've got Tyram and Varney going in behind, but they both get cleaned up here. Kayn takes a 1v1 with callback, does actually win that one, but the heels have now tracked their way to the bottom of the point, but these red players are just disappearing from the screen, and Fugaz is bombing in onto Patch and gets the force. Incredible stuff from him. He's going to retreat back to his men. Nice arrow there from Poise, keep him alive. But this push onto second was totally thwarted by that flank just coming in and just doing so much work there.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where teams are so focused on getting in without using Uber that they just end up dropping everyone. And you saw there Elikor getting killed in lobby while his team was basically holding choke. So bit of miscommunication there. The roles are completely reversed now. Poi's got the massive advantage. They do need to cap mid a little bit, but it shouldn't be too long before they leave. We do see AZN on the backlines actually taking a fight with Tyram. I think Tyram should just be able to back off there.
Looks like the Uber actually just comes straight in through the choke. And this has happened before on the map of Gully Watch. So you saw it do it in the first official, but they literally just chuck their Uber straight through choke and run at them here. But it looks like they are just going directly into last. The bomb comes into River onto Patch, and Patch only just escapes that by running under his feet. But Patch is super low on the low ground. He's so weak! He's still alive and he's in water and he manages to escape away, but he's not going to get this Uber. 95%, but no one to heal. And VNC players just dropping like flies. They run in for this point. It looks like Patch is going to get his Uber. And eventually it all comes down, Sam, but what aggressive play from VNC.
Oh, Poi kind of threw that. He got so excited. He hit that arrow. The med went into water. He was trying to follow up on that, but Poi kind of threw that there. He could have survived and at least played with hills. Now Pachuli's got 100% ad. We do see a spy on the field, but that's not going to do much. I don't think they're already capping up second here. Tyram's trying to put some spam down onto the second point, but to no avail, and it looks like it should be reset. Kane's currently sitting on the barrels. Oh, he tries the trick snap, just misses it. That was pretty close. That was a good try.
A little bit spicy there as they're coming into this mid already. Looks like the French team do not want to slow down, but Tyram's just going to be spamming that angle. Just walks in through elbow and just gets completely demolished by Elikor. And they're not going to be able to do too much else on this mid, and they're going to start capping this one up. Tyram is currently on quite a long respawner and will be back up in 10 seconds, but the rest of the team are currently there. Patchouli still has that Uber to play with. KN is unspotted on the lamp somehow as he jumps in, and Patchouli is delaying quite nicely. No stickies at his feet though, so nothing really defending him, but looks like Korvac going down there. And also, they're now trapped in this corner. They're going to have to take this Uber, but Poi now has his. And now it's looking like a bit of a disaster for the French team. The blue Uber is significantly better here, Sam.
Yeah, they're coming in now. They're going to be taking mid. So far, it's back and forth. Elikor is going to get tilled up, but Tyram, again, just getting picked off there. Actually, that was more AZN just botting in there rather than Tyram. So Tyram's starting pretty hot there. Looks like at the moment, though, the scouts of the VNC are the ones that are really doing the damage. Varnu currently on a 5-kill streak, and we are going to see them hopefully capping up this point, and this should be the first stalemate point of time, unless VNC decide to go for an incredible dry push.
Yeah, VNC, they do not slow down. They're definitely going to go for this pressure cooker style on this last point here. They're going to try and fire from all the doors, and as we mentioned before, they've not opted to go for this engineer straight away, because AZN does go quite greedy, and he goes on the sniper usually, but that means Pachuli's not going to be able to build, because Neo is now actually going on Engie. So they now have this gun being built, and they have this ad that was around 20%, but is now being built out only just though. So if Yak was able to get his eyes on there, he would have been able to spot that, but AZN now up on the pyro, doing a bit of spy searching. Varnu is going to be going in through water, so they are just setting up now to see what they kind of want to do, poking and prodding at this hold.
Yeah, and this is where the time limit really makes an impact, right? Because usually you'd have 10 minutes to be able to set up these plays where you're going into water, putting sticks on points, spamming the gun down, going for sacks. Now you don't. Now you have 5 minutes, and that's from the moment that you cap the previous point as well. So they're already down to 4 minutes here. Varnu's currently trying to pester them under the point, but Yak is going to go down actually. You've got 2 people in lobby. Elikor's putting sticks from the stairs. The soldier's going to bomb up. He's getting one good rocket, manages to get the scout, but Poi does not use their better to drop his scout there, and it's still going to stay 100%. The Frenchie's not really interested in pushing. AZN's going to try and get on the soldier as he gets out from water, but again, a reset, and it's already down to 3.5 minutes, so this is where they have to make a decision, right? Do they bring up a sniper, do they bring up a spy, or do they just go for a trade, or do they keep doing these point plays? But eventually the clock's going to run down and they need to make a decision.
Yeah, indeed. And now the gun has actually been moved over to that left-hand side, so it's a lot harder to spam this gun, but it does cover a little bit less of the point there. The left-hand side of the point's completely free, but Korbach's going to be playing the rim, understanding the situation he's in, noticing the weaknesses in their hold. And now it's going to be quite difficult. But I think if you're the French team, you know, with this 5-minute rule set, I think you're more than happy to just allow VNC to make these mistakes that they made. I mean, Yak going down in lobby was huge, but as soon as you lose that one player, losing Duo, it makes it even harder to push out and clear out all those angles. And Varney, once again, he's just being such a nuisance, and Korbach's just holding that high ground, kind of bait him in there, and now he's super weak, but the arrows come down river, and he should be just fine. But, wow, yeah, this stalemate is hard.
Yeah, the problem is that Korbach's not getting spammed at all, so he can just sit on the point and just spam every time Vanu's trying to pressure, so it's not really working there. They need to pressure the point as well, so that Vanu can actually get up and start, like, annoying that sense. But, yeah, I mean, teams are absolutely going to be holding last now. You saw the Frenchies didn't really do anything apart from sending one soldier to try and get the force, and then they might push out, but teams are much more, you know, favourable to, as we do see the soldiers double sacking straight into a gun, but so much cap time there. Oh my god, Tiram's got the point, he gets 2 and he gets the caps! Oh my god. I was about to say that Korbach's not been watching the point when they're going to play it, and what a massive play there.
Yeah, they made it exactly happen. I mean, the sentry gun can only lock on to one guy, and KN just tanked all of the gun, allowed Tiram and Vanu to just get into water and just get so much cap time down on that point, just allowing that last push to go through. So, first round on the board to VNC in this game versus the veteran Frenchies, but Korbach was going to go for oh my god, Poi's been deleted out of the server! But Korbach and Dwell are going to go down immediately, but Patchouli up on this high ground with his scouts is going to have to retreat back into the choke, but it looks like AZN, can he meet his medic? He can't. So Patchouli is left alone, and the chase is on. Can Patchouli defend himself? Tiram is incredibly weak. He does have to get a pack, and Patchouli is running all the way back to the spawn, shooting crossbows behind him. Can High and Tiram find it? He's in the spawn, and still alive, Sam.
Yep, he managed to get out just. I was going to say, the spawns weren't looking very good. It was 7 seconds when he got through choke, but managed to escape in time. Tiram actually going to pick up Korbach there. That was an interesting feed from Korbach there. They've got almost, actually it's not that big an advantage, it's only 30%, but it was enough for them to be able to push into mid, so I'm not sure why Korbach was so focused on getting that soldier pick there. It wasn't really necessary, but they are going to trade soldiers, and the Uber is going to be coming up for the Frenchies. We're going to see how they're going to take here. Elicor just poking around choke, pressing, but they're going to just pressure. They're walking in here, they're clearing the sticks, and Korbach's going through drop down, and this is just a standard take, but whilst they're doing this, Poi is already at 80%.
Yeah, they're taking a sweet, sweet time with this one, but I think they're going to be more than happy to just hold the second by the looks of things. They are keeping their flank in here, and Tiram is just caught in elbow, and he goes down. And Vanu is getting aggressive as well towards Big Doors. They're just poking and prodding already, but with Tiram being down, it's going to open things up now for the French team to make some kind of maneuvers. I think it's likely going to be a Big Door kind of play, but they are just more than happy by the looks of things to get everyone buffed up and then get ready. But double soldiers at choke by the looks of things. Korbach and Duo just going in onto Poi, and they do manage to land some nice rockets. Can Poi hold it? He cannot. That was a very, very nice use from him. He held it all the way to the end there. Final rocket comes out, but they do end up losing 2 on the side of the Frenchies, and AZN currently in behind. They lose Neo as well here, so Patchouli and Elicor really, really cannot afford to use Super.
AZN's behind.
Oh god.
Oh no, and then AZN gets caught. Oh dear. Yeah, it's one of those situations where you do a triple sack and then you end up actually dropping the Uber because you just have no one to cover you, so really work out in their favour. Duo's going to try and hold choke, but he's got 5 people in his face. He's going to die very, very quickly, and so far, it's exactly what you alluded to in the first official. BNC are looking very, very composed. Yes, they're doing a couple of mistakes. Taram got caught out a couple of times, but so far, majority of the time, it's been very composed, whereas it looks like top 5 are really the people that are getting caught out by these overextension plays and just, you know, silly mistakes that you wouldn't expect from veterans of the game.
Yeah, indeed, and it looks like now that Poi is managing to get Zuber up, and it looks like it's going to be a river push here, which a Pyro would be the counter to, but they've opted for this heavy instead. So the Uber comes in, they flash Vanu into water already, and they're going to flash high in as well, just to clean up onto this AZN scout. AZN, once again, though, staying on scout rather than not passing, and Korbach is going to try and get back into the spawn, but everyone's flooding this point
Poi's on the heavy!
Hero's going down, and it's, oh, Patchouli gets the Uber, but doesn't get on it in time. That's going to be 2-0, very close.
Yeah, very close, but VNC are in a controlling position now, and yeah, really solid play from them. I'm really impressed how they're approaching the game right now. Am I seeing correctly that AZN is going sniper to mid?
You are seeing that indeed correctly. He has hit his cheat key and has toggled on those hacks, so he is now ready and willing to shoot those rockets. But Patchouli rolling out through choke here. Maybe this is some kind of new strategy. Yak immediately getting headshot on this mid. They now know that the sniper is in play, and also they lose Vanu to a headshot. Tyram goes down, KN drops, and it's going to be Elikor, the only casualty on this French side. An incredible mid strategy they've pulled out there. Just seemed to work out for them.
Well, it was weird actually. When AZN spawned on Sniper just at the mids, my game started freezing, so I don't know if there was some sort of software being installed there, but never mind. Yep. So, anyway, the weird thing is actually, it really worked out well because they managed to get the demo, but I was a bit confused by that because if there's one thing that they needed on the mid fight so far is with scouts, because they weren't keeping their medic alive after getting poised so quickly. But, you know, they made it work. They managed to get Poi anyway at the end of the fight, and Yak's actually massively extended, manages to get picked off by Elikor. Tyram's in, he's going to get one rocket off, but it doesn't even do any damage to Patchouli. Gets obliterated, and no. AZN comes from underneath, and this is the kind of VNC that I expected to see. And it's complete misplay, and the two rounds... The two rounds... They got the force, but I mean, it took 5 people, you know. They got 3 spawners now, but even then, they've got 6 people up. And I wouldn't be surprised here if they just back off and get the Uber. You know, the Heavy's up and Poi's up now. But weirdly, because they committed to this fight, Poi's actually only got 10% disadvantage. So actually, they've recovered well from that force, the escape plan force.
Yeah, they actually did quite well there. I mean, looks like Poi has been managing to build the super already. It's actually caught up with Patchouli already. Patchouli not healing for a significant amount of time there. And also, it looks like Fugazi's onto him and actually kills Patch. Outside on second, he's still alive for a very long time, distracting these players. But that medic going down there, they should not allow that to happen at any point here.
No, absolutely not. And we're going to see AZN on Sniper once again. So it's going to be very, very difficult for them to push from up top, which is looks like where they're going right now. AZN scoped right in on where Poi is, and he walks straight into the body shot. Don't need cheats for that, boys. Walking straight line. Body shot, and AZN's going to pick that off. Now they've got a big 40-50% advantage, and they've got a sniper as well, so hopefully they should be able to get in and do no problem.
Yeah, I mean, the one bad thing about them having the ad is that they've got that sniper that you mentioned. I mean, it's just one less DM class that you're going to have right in their faces. Instead, you've got this sniper just shooting, hopefully from a position that he's going to be covered in, but he needs to try and be able to fight and also not be in a place where people are trying to escape the Uber from, which is quite hard to do. I mean, if you're going to sit around in lobby especially, but we'll see what he decides to do. You might see an SMG Uber, you never know. But Elikor comes in with the superstar straight away, the headshots are high. That Pyro is now out of the game, the sentry gun getting dropped as well, so that goes down. Tyram is going to play on the rim here. Vanu running in now as well, Fugazi also on the flank, but Poi also on the flank somehow. But it looks like everyone is dying here on VNC, and that AZN sniper really turning the tides of this game.
Yeah, it's funny what happens when you switch things up, you know. Something clearly was just not wrong in the makeup of the game, and suddenly, you know, AZN's dominating. He is going to go back to scout this mid, so I think, you know, obviously you don't want to be playing too much so that you're expecting it. I think that VNC would be quick to adopt. I wouldn't be surprised if the soldiers go really aggressive this mid anyway on Big Door, just to preemptively think there's a sniper, so so far...
This is interesting. I mean, both medics are rolling out through choke now, but Poi's getting bombed once again. Nice little surf from him, but he is going to get caught. Actually, Poi hits the arrow, surfs onto the high ground. Poi survives. Yak is super low, but Poi eventually gets scat ground from the high ground. Neo finds that kill, and Yak did receive an arrow before he went down, and now High is in behind with the patch, just trying to force them around here. And KN's going to bomb in on this, gets caught back. But Neo is still at full HP with the beam firmly up his rectum, and is going to be able to shoot down Fugazi, and also going to claim Yak here by the looks of things, as Yak is retreating to not his choke, so he's about to get pincered by some respawners.
Oh, actually, but he's got some friends. They're coming in, and this is the thing. When you've got Uber, right, you play so much more scared. You know, Yak's got nothing to lose there. They are going to be starting to walk straight back in again. Bodu's going to try and chase down Elikor, but he's just going to get countered by AZN. And yeah, something's just toggled in the minds of the French team right now, and they're playing so much better. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it could be anything, to be honest. It could be the fresh French baguettes that they had for Dindins, but looks like now that VNC are just going to be retreating back into their own lobby here. Poi has managed to build up to a 50% Uber and Vanu is already building that sentry gun as well, so they're really preparing for this last push. And Yak is setting up a sticky trap inside of lobby as well. They have managed to spot it, and it looks like they're just going to be opting to Uber directly through this door, and they do so. But Yak is very far out on this point here as the Uber comes in, and he goes super low and cleaned up immediately by Elikor, just landing all those pipes, and this heavy is now out in play, and it looks like it's going to be much harder for him to play on this point. But AZN getting on top of it, the Uber comes out from Poi just to defend that point and kill off AZN in water.
Yeah, they had to use their trying to block the point. You are going to see the Frenchies back outside with a 30% advantage. So they're going to try and hold that and try and fight off VNC, who are trying to get aggressive from up top right now, but I don't really see this working. And yeah, it is to no avail. They're going to back off straight back to Lust and try and build up the Uber, but Pachuli's been building solidly right now, and this is another opportunity to push with advantage and try and focus down the point again.
Yeah, let's see what they can do here. It looks like they are going to be moving into River this time around. Elikor looks like he's ready and waiting to receive this Ubercharge. Let's see what they're going to be able to do with it here. The sentry gun is only currently level 1, and it's in a weird position as well to take an Uber. And looks like now they just take it down pretty much immediately. And also Yak once again getting caught by this. And Poi in the shutter door nearly goes down himself, but manages to get the beam now to this heavy that's trying to sit on this point. He goes down immediately, and it looks like they are managing to clean up Neo on this point. And Duo is the last man standing. Can he do anything here? Bombing in towards the point. He's getting pistol whipped by an engine. Poi has to use the Uber charge to keep himself alive. And Pachuli does manage to escape with his 10% Uber. But once again, AZN back up on this sniper.
Yeah, I don't know really what's going wrong with this. These French pushes right now, they're just not really getting much done. They're not focusing the point, but they're not going for frags. And Poi's always in a position. Elikor has survived for way too long there. Actually, that's a massive overextension. AZN's going to be holding down the choke, but looks like VNC should be able to bust this mid if AZN isn't able to get those picks.
Yeah, looks like now they're making their way into mid. KN is just leading the charge here, just bombs all the way into the point and has made the French team quiver in their boots, and they've escaped this mid for the time being. Pachuli up to 85% and Poi currently on a firm 56. So it looks like Pachuli does have this ad, but whether they want to go with it or not is a different question. It looks like now the answer is yes, with Yak getting body shot down in that choke point. He's going to start thumping his keyboard as this sniper is just doing too much work. And these double soldiers at this choke, they're just holding firmly. The beam is shoved onto KN. Good damage into this choke. Elikor almost going down here, but Korvac just gets annihilated coming through that choke. And they're managing to hold this despite this Uber dis ad here, Sam.
Yeah, this is really... this is the problem with running a sniper. Although Yak's just fed. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. I didn't really quite catch that, but KN's going to get in, and he's going to try and force, and the force is going to come out actually on the other side, and it's a much better Uber for Pachuli. This is really dangerous. Ken's going to do his best to juggle Elikor. He's going to sack himself to get his medic out, and looks like the French should be able to clear mid, although Nuthouse has just dominated Neo. He said, "You're not coming in, and I'm going to defend this point." And we do see Yak trying to pressure the point here, but he's against two soldiers and a demo, and they should be pressured out pretty quickly here. But Poi's committed, Yak's committed, and this is really dangerous here. But Tiram's on the med. Oh my god, this is so chaotic.
They're all around them. They just managed to surround the entire team just very, very slowly. And AZN is unable to do anything in this fight. He just missed about 1,000 shots. He must have untoggled or something, but it looks like Korvac going down in lower as well. Looks like now they are onto this point. They're going to start capping it up on second. But Yak and Poi, the only players going down, but they are definitely the ones that the French team needed.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that AZN managed to get off that pick there, because that was a really good fight from VNC. I was really surprised. It was just the demo and the scout. And they got their spawners just in time, and as time went on, and obviously the more spawns that came in, VNC just completely dominated the fight. You see the Ubers relatively equal here, but strange decision from VNC to be holding Big Door. They've completely given up seconds here. They are going to trade frags with Duo going down and Vanu getting picked off. But they're going to give up second here, which I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but it has happened. And Elikor's actually getting picked off by a Tiram that was on 1 HP in lobby, and this is again getting very chaotic here.
Looks like they managed to once again just surround them though and kill all of them somehow. This VNC team just seems to be able to slip in, get one big pick onto Elikor or all 2 soldiers, or a scout and a soldier, or some combination of those players, and they just managed to make things happen, and they just continue to impress in this game. They just seem to be finding all of the angles. Vano, once again, though, just running in and dying first, but that doesn't matter because he managed to get the space into Elacor, who's super weak. He gets cleaned up. It's going to be 3x3 on this cap, but these red spawners have just come in, and they all flood towards this point. The banner's coming out from Tyram, but he's too weak. He's not going to be able to do anything, but they get on top of this point. They capture it out. It's going to be 3-1 here to VNC. A total upset in this game.
Yeah, and you've got to remember as well, the new rule set is that if you hit 5, unless it's 5-4, you are winning the game. So right now they are 2 rounds away from winning this game, and you know even that they're in a very comfortable position right now. I'm really impressed with VNC how they're playing, as we do see AZN once again on the sniper to mid. Let's see if he can have the impact that he had in the first mid that he did this. As we do see Poi actually, he's very aware of this. Poi is actually sitting inside his choke. He's actually gone down his own drop down. Yak's going to get picked off, and AZN's getting chased to their second. KN's trying to chase him. This is absolute chaos right now.
Oh, Poi just had the saddest mid I've ever seen a medic have on Gully Wash, which is run into drop down, run around on the ground, and just die. Like, that was pretty incredible. But AZN hitting a nice headshot behind there. And looks like Ken's going to be trying to go on the high ground, and Varney's trying to kill Patchouli, but Patchouli nearly wins the DM fight. AZN on the high ground just body shots Varney, and manages to take him down, and Varney's pissed. Elacor at the moment just trying to land as many pipes as he can, but looks like KN is going to get the clean up there onto him. And now Tyram's fighting Core back. They're just continuously fighting here. And KN is going to be eventually retreating back into the choke. But once this all ends, VNC have managed to get this midpoint and have remained in the driving seat in this game. They have managed to escape this mid-fight somehow with an uber advantage, despite Poi only knowing what the floor is in Gully Wash.
Well, Poi was basically dead, so I'm pretty sure he just kill-binded that mid. And because of that, he's actually got a massive uber advantage because he just gave up his life, respawned, and built up the advantage now. AZN has now, with a disadvantage, gone back to Scout. So, not exactly sure, but the Frenchies are kind of holding in a position where they know they've got disad, but at the same time, they're not going to respect, you know, VNC. And I think VNC believe it's a lot more equal than it is because they're not pressuring the point whatsoever.
Yeah, they just seem to be chilling out here, but if you are VNC as well, you got to think that you are currently in the lead, and how are you going to make more mistakes? And that's just going to be by pushing on these smaller advantages. I say smaller, it's around 30%, so I definitely would have said, yeah, screw it, let's go. But this is very, very, very uncharacteristic of the Yak teams. Usually they're pushing on these 10% ads and just remaining aggressive throughout the entire game, but it looks like they are just going to halt their progress right now, and it looks like the French team have smelt that that is exactly what's going on, and they're just going to be trying to pressure towards this choke as well. But AZN, strangely enough, even though you know, he swapped back to Scout when they had Disad, which is kind of the opposite of how I imagined him playing.
Exactly, and that's what I meant, as we do see the exchanges. French want to get out, and actually Tyram gets caught off there. Luckily, KN trades with Korback, and actually they're using this space. They're getting in. KN and Yak have both bombed in. Duo is actually going to pick up, and they need to back out here. They've lost their soldier. Poi's bleeding from the ball, and I wouldn't be surprised here if actually they give up mid. Those 2 soldier picks means they've got hardly any spam whatsoever to deny the Frenchies from coming in. And yeah, looks like they're going to commit, but AZN catches the pipe, and Tyram dies, and then Yak dies, but he also gets a pick, and this is chaos once again.
What the hell is happening? And Hyde is running in as well. Looks like VNC are recontesting this mid in this 3v3 as the mid capture didn't even get close. I mean, the only reason that all happened is because Poi fired an arrow across mid to hit AZN in the feet, and then AZN just got piped out of nowhere. And that was the combo required to get that one pick that caused that entire engagement to occur. And now Poi is actually going to be saying, wait, he goes to choke, nearly dies to callback. He needs to be way more aware. Because these mistakes that could have happened there, if Poi goes down, this could be an entirely different story.
Yeah, but that was okay, and ACN's on sniper again.
God, it's just
but the thing
so
is, right now, VNC are not going to mind this, right? Because yes, they've lost Yak, but they've got Uber, and there's 2 minutes left, and they're 2 rounds up. So Tyram dies. Okay, this is a little bit worse now. They got Uber, and they got 2 picks, no spam classes, and actually they're going to take a trade here. They're just going to delay as much as possible, get those Ubers out, and they're actually going to chase down ACN to make sure that he dies. Anu's going to do well to survive here, actually, and looks like it should be a reset on second. Tyram should spawn in time, but interestingly, Nuthouse just feeds on mid, and that probably is a recipe for them to give up second here. Actually, Yak doesn't want to. They want to fight again. Woe's going to get denied. Vanu kills him down, and Korvac should get picked up as well. And this This is just really strange right now. I don't know. They look like they wanted to bust, but then I give up trying to commentate on this.
Yeah, they just have no idea what's going on. They are just trying out new things here, getting super aggressive. This entire game, by the looks of things, they're pushing on damage. I think that's the call. I mean, like, one player goes in, he tries to get on top of Yak, just gets air piped down, and then that entire situation is flipped on its head. It just takes that in these even uber situations where both teams are driving. AZN back up on that sniper, going to be going from choke, which is a very strange occurrence. But why is Yak rotating away from choke when the entire red team is stacked up against it? And they imagine to get their players in now. Callback is trying to get deep onto Yak, can't find anything. Neo and Callback just going to go down directly here, and now it's going to be very hard to hold this mid, especially when they've got AZN currently up on this sniper. He has to hit some miracle shots in order to stop this push from happening.
He needs to go for a hero shot. I don't know what he's waiting for. There's 3 minutes left. Okay, that's a nice shot. Now he needs to get aggressive. I don't know. He was sitting in choke there behind his team sacking instead of actually going for anything. He's not really playing sniper as a pick class right now. He's almost playing like, you know, that star player that his whole team's trying to like carry, you know, and like surround him, which is a bit strange. But the trade's actually going to come out here. It's a much better Uber for VNC, and they're going to absolutely destroy them. And the only saving grace right now is that if AZN hits a miracle shot...
Oh, Duo gets it. He gets the medic. He gets Poi. He dives in from the backline. He was just hanging around in lobby, went up through river, and just managed to get on top of him. Patchouli and AZN are going to escape out of this choke, and it looks like Elikor as well. He's going to get caught behind. That's going to be a very late spawn for him. 20 seconds in the respawn queue there. And now this mid capture is going to go through here. Let's see what VNC want to do. If it's a Yak call, they will just bust directly with all these respawn queues coming out from the red team. And it looks like that is going to be sort of not the case here, as Yak is chilling out in a very strange position here, Samski.
Well, they've got 30 disad, and they are against the sniper, so I completely agree with what they're doing right now. They just need to hold it, and again, like every time the Frenchies try and walk through choke, they're doing this so sluggishly, so, you know, almost like tortoises trying to walk through, you know, at 0 miles an hour. Elikor, for some reason, was at big door while his combo tried to bust through choke. But then there's a sniper and they're trying to play aggressively. It just doesn't really make sense right now. And it's almost like, you know, AZN's just said in Mumble, I'm going sniper, and they're like, AZN, please switch off. They aren't going to come in. And Poi doesn't have his Uber yet. He's on 68%. He's going to dodge and dive, and he's going to survive. And Patchouli didn't even commit to that. AZN's going to get the close headshot, and he's going to try and hold as quickly as can. Callback's trying to bomb as much as possible, but if you're Yak's team right now, you're waiting for this Uber, you're slowing down the pace again, you're completely denying the space for this sniper to have any impact. The worst thing you can do right now is walk into the sniper sight line.
Yeah, he's unable to do anything here. Just sitting back by the shutter door now as Tyram's just going to land some fountain, but the kill comes into KN there in towards big door, so they do manage to get at least one pick. All 6 players of the French side are currently up. High bomb comes in towards this choke as Neo going down to a sticky trap here. Tyram just gets
This could be a really big Uber.
It looks like they are just running in with the supercharge all the way into lobby. Can they find anything? Hyle's on the Uber. They do pick up Elikor there. Patchouli is running for his life. Can he hit an Uber saw? He cannot. He's just going to get crushed in the corner here. Callback is trying to retreat to get on top of High, but High has the health advantage. He's on top of Callback and wins it on 7 health there. Times 2 on this cap. It looks like they're just desperately throwing bodies at the side of VNC as they charge into
House is leading it.
Leading the way in. House is just in. Banu is in, but they both just feed here, Sam. And Fugazi's on this point. Can he get it?
Neo can't get up. Oh my god.
Neo's
running around the rim. Oh my god. Callback manages to save it. Tyram's in. No, he's not going to get this. Surely not. There's 2 soldiers here. How is he still alive? Finally, Duo hits the direct, but it was 50 seconds left. You know, they had nothing to lose. Nuthouse was feeling himself right there when he got that 7 kill streak. He was absolutely hitting everything. And yeah, he kind of just fed in there, but it was a nice attempt there. Poi's going to go down, but this is garbage time. This is GG. VNC take the first map 3-1, and I have to say I'm really impressed with how they played.
Yeah, they had some really disciplined gameplay throughout this entire thing. They all seemed to, even though there was like chaos going on, like we said the entire game, there was a lot of chaos, but you could tell from the Yak team, it was organized chaos, and they were all on the same page the whole time, and it caught the French team completely off guard, and there was not a lot that they could really do about it. So, I mean, big props to them bringing this new playstyle that they brought into Prem, and really showing these French old men what it takes to take away games now in the current season.
Yeah, you know, that was really impressive, and I'm just, I think we're going to look at some logs, right, and just see how dominant. And yeah, I mean, one thing to point out right now is there's no one on VNC that had a poor game, right? I mean, you could say that Poi dying 14 times is perhaps, slightly disappointing, especially when you compare it to Patchouli. But at the same time, it shows that the Frenchies didn't really, do anything with those advantages. They still had the same amount of Ubers. They didn't really, get proactive on those advantages of having hills. So, it clearly didn't matter that much. And then you look at, I think the main thing you've got to point out is Elicorn not really performing. 11 to 19, you were hyping up before the game. And the same with Neo, right? 18 to 18, only 180 DPM on Pocket Scout compared to, Nuthouse, which completely dominated, especially towards the end there, was just completely just clicking on everyone and just running around and deleting people. And, it's just very, very impressive.
Yeah, very, very good stuff there. And also, top damage in the server actually going to KN, nearly getting 10k damage. That man was an absolute nuisance, like you mentioned previously. Absolute deathmatch beast. So, grinding his fingers into a pulpy, bloody mess whenever he plays MGE. So, this man absolutely performing in Premiership this season, and it seems to be the magic. But I think that, when it comes to this French side, maybe you're seeing a little bit of wash coming out. But when it comes to this team, I think that, if they're doing weak now, what's going to happen going forwards in the future? But I think that the real special source that we need to see out of top 5 Rocket is AZN not being as greedy on these last holds. Sure, he got 27 kills here, but he's not swapping onto NG even though he's spawning first. He's playing the flank, so he's not allowing Neo to build these Ubers as often, and it just seems to be this case of let's just play around AZN and just pray that he wins the game for us, and it really just is not working out for them. But we'll see if that's really the case as it comes into product, though, which, if AZN's going to perform on a map, this should probably be the one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of eat my own words from my pre-game prediction. I thought that one was going to be close, and it was close to a certain extent. But I think the scoreline is actually flattery towards top 5. I think that VNC were in control of that game the majority of the time. I think that the AZN sniper really, allowed them to stay in the game because he kept getting these, these important picks that would stop, VNC from busting chokes. So I think really it's going to be interesting this second map because I don't know what AZN's really like feeling. I don't think you can really play product with one scout and a sniper and 2 soldiers. I think that 2 scouts nowadays is just really detriment to winning. And I just don't know how AZN's going to be wanting to play this because, as we pointed out during the cast in the first map, there was a few times where AZN was on sniper where it didn't really make sense, but then he was on sniper when it did, and it's just kind of understanding that decision making and more as well, seeing how the team plays around him. It looked like they were kind of lost, even though he's playing with them. They didn't really know how to play with a sniper. So
yeah, it does seem to be the case. But if you are a viewer and you're watching this game at home, and you're thinking, "What the fuck is going on with European TF2?" I just think it takes a lot of attention span to be able to follow some of the stuff that's happening in this game because it continues to be an aggressive mess the entire time. And when you're seeing it from like a bird's eye perspective like we are, you can kind of see like the plans that are forming and what they're trying to do in this game. And for VNC, it does seem to be like, this strategies that they've come up with. So it does make me wonder if they've been scrimming on, on product that, they've got something in the bag here coming on product, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. But from the other teams that you've seen also, I was going to ask you this question beforehand, before we even start the cast, but I'll ask you while we're here, so because it's, flipping content. Do you reckon that top 5 Rocket are going to have a chance in this, like, top 4 kind of roster zone, or do you reckon they're going to fail to the League of Shadows? What do you reckon?
well, you know what? I would say no, but Sprite has just put something in chat which is very interesting. With the fact that New Panzer just 3-0'd TF2 Easy, Gully Watch. Which, seeing that TF2 Easy also lost their first official given, and bear in mind that was to the top seed, right? To the expected people that I would think would probably win Prem this season. I think that the fact that TF2 Easy have had a couple of players that haven't been playing, recent seasons, so there's a bit of disjoint. They're going back to their old roster that they say they prefer, but actually I think it's a bit of a downgrade compared to last season in terms of just, general keenness and the awareness for how the game's playing right now. But the fact that they've just lost to New Panzer are a great team. They've got some really great DM on their team. But Gullywash is one of those maps where you'd expect the soldier combo of Josh and Nubby to be able to handle it. And they've just been completely torn apart. So right now, I'm not comfortable that Tier 2 Easy are going to make top 4. I mean, you'd hope that they would, and you'd hope that they win product with, with scouts like Ghazi and Kunu, but, now it's kind of up in the air. And if VNC takes 6 points tonight, I think that, they're going to really have that self-belief that they can also make upsets as well.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to VNC, I think that we are going to just see them constantly improve. I reckon we are going to, likelihood from what we're seeing here from VNC, that they have what it takes to make playoffs in this season, by the looks of things. Because, the way that I scored it, I thought Witness Gaming were going to come first, and then we're going to have Tier 2 Easy in second place, right? And then it was kind of a toss-up between League of Shadows, top5rocket, and Noob Panzer as to who was going to come in the next slot. And then it was kind of Street Debil's and Full Fence in the last two spots. I assume that was what most people were going to say, but now with New Panzer taking rounds off, there's slightly more favour to them. But if VNC are looking this good here, then how good are they going to look against these other stronger teams? Like if they're doing this well against top5rocket, how are they going to translate that to these other games as well? And will they be able to take a round off Tier 2 Easy? Are we going to see the storyline in which Yak defeats Seeds?
Yeah, I'm not sure, and I think. I obviously want to focus on this official rather than Easy, but I think that because that they're a bit rusty, I think they'll be mainly focused about LAN. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little bit of a rough season, a rough start, and then they really show up at LAN. But we'll have to see. And I'm actually really excited just how this is the first map that I've properly watched of VNC. I'm really excited to see VNC at LAN now. So I'm really hoping that they can just keep building on this confidence that they clearly have from the preseason and the first official and this first map. And looks like we should be going live relatively soon. So, Lucky, I want your predictions. Who's going to take this map?
Oh, after watching that first game, I do want the storyline of VNC to actually win this one. I think they did so good in the first game that I want to see that win streak continue. What about you, just real quick before we hit this first mid?
Yeah, I think I want VNC to win this. But I'm still confident on the fact that Neo and AZN are going to show up. So let's see.
We'll see what happens here, but we are seeing Dwo and Korvac immediately bombing into the backline here, but they've both just been thwarted. But boy, the first one to go down here, they're just chucking bodies in at Patchouli now to try and get the kill onto him, and we're just seeing this huge DM fight happen on this point, and High now is going to take this fight against Korvac. Korvac landing one nice rocket, and also we've got Patchouli just hitting the arrows, keeping him alive. Nice from Korvac there to take down High, and it is going to be the Frenchies taking away this first mid.
Yeah, nice rockets there from Korvac, but also really well played from Patchouli, like staying in there trying to hit those arrows just to keep Korvac alive. So we are going to see the first cap go down to the Frenchies, and the first cap actually, doesn't have that much of an impact, but it sets the precedence, right, for the rest of the map. You're already having that counter go down, Yak's dying, oh, they're going for a sack already, Patchouli doesn't have Uber, and they're going to get a couple of picks, but Patchouli's in the middle of nowhere, and actually, do I hear a sniper on the field already?
Yep, you see an AZN sniper currently out in the field, gets the body shot kill with the no-scope onto KN, but that was like a very interesting sack rate they did there. They showed their entire team, made it look like they were just going to take a straight-up fight, and then Yak just calls the sack, and they all just run in and just all die, and they nearly get patched, but Yak getting killed off by a headshot here, and the longer they take to do these sack plays, the more they're going to get punished for it with the sniper being on the field for such a long amount of time.
Yeah, and I don't think our producer needs to do anything this game. I think you just sit on AZN cam for the entire game, and we can just sit back and relax now and watch a guy that... I think the last time I saw him on Product, he did 600 DPM on Sniper, so, maybe he'll do something similar to that. So we do see the Ubers come out. Chuli is going to have a slightly better Uber, and we do have some players from VNC as Turam gets absolutely destroyed. Banu's on the med, but he is going to get saved. Korvac with a double kill there, and the cap is going to go down, but it's not going to be long. And actually, that was a really strange decision to cap there, because they've now delayed two of their players massively in getting the cap, and they're just going to switch it over straight away. Actually, they might delay for Elikor, who spawns in 2 seconds.
Very, very interesting stuff going on right now, but once again, Poi getting bombed, but nice little jukes there onto Dwo, but Dwo eventually managing to find the third rocket. I can't believe that no one managed to kill him in time there, but still playing around the sniper, the French team. They just seem to be grouping up 3 or 4 players around the sniper, because I think they realize that VNC are going to be slightly perturbed by the sniper being on the field, and they're just going to continue diving players in deep to get on top of the sniper. And if they're going to continue doing that, then why not sit players and just get the free frags as soon as they come for your sniper? So It's going to be very hard now for VNC to change the game plan here, outside of getting their own sniper, but I don't see anyone out-sniping AZN on their team, so I think they're just happy to stick with this cookie-cutter gameplay. As they come in on concrete here, going to be running through this connector, and Poi down to half HP, having to do so, and looks like Fugazi going to be bombing across here with Tyram, but unable to really do too much as AZN's playing on that cliff. They're going to get loads of cap time here, but once again, everyone just sitting around, and Patchouli goes super weak and does have to use out the Uber charge, but Poi is going to be running back through main, so he's going to survive here as well. KN is going to fall to this, but he gets core back on the way out, which is going to be somewhat of a saving grace here as they try and make this root push happen.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 50% advantage, but Boy's getting spotted. Does get body shot and goes down to 50 HP. And they do have that advantage, but, you know, the clock has gone so down, and they've also got just this constant fear of AZN just sitting in bats. The soldier's not really getting on him at the moment. Yak's doing his best to spam down, but, you know, AZN's got the backpack, he's got the pack on lower cliff, and he's just going to get healed up straight away. And it's such a nuisance playing against a sniper that's putting out the damage. As I say that, he finally goes down, but they use the Uber anyway, so kind of doesn't really work in that sense. You know, they're now going to cap things up, but already Patchouli sitting at 70%, and I wouldn't be surprised if AZN switches to scout here. He does. They've got, you know, a tremendous Uber advantage, and if they get this Uber and get the cap, they've pretty much secured the rounds, unless for some hero plays. So let's see how they're going to approach this.
Yeah, looks like now they're just going to be running in here, but when they were playing with two soldiers and one scout, it was kind of hard for them to take these Ubers, but it looks like now with this double scout, they are going to be able to run in here. Neo finds Poi and KN, and he's going to go down. Tyram also dropping here, and just VNC getting caught in such a bad position. It looks like it's going to be a full wipe here. That Uber just taking it all the way, but the French team are going to delay capturing this point to get their spawners. Very clever gameplay from them.
Yeah, and they're going to get the cap down, and it's already 20 seconds. And right now, they're in such a driving position that they could even leave the point, get Uber, and then just recontest it. I mean, they're not going to do that, obviously, but VNC are in such a dire position right now. Actually, it looks like they're all going to come from the concrete area. No, they're going to walk main. Okay, so they're going to take this fight in, but there's so much damage raining on them already. You know, the scout's going to get pulled down, and let's see how the French is going to play this. Callback's going to bomb in, put so much damage on, and AZN's going to walk in. Just destroy everyone. Oh my god, what a nuts fight. And I think my pre-game prediction was kind of correct. Neo, I don't think died that. Maybe he did die, but it was on an 8 kill streak at the end, and AZN, you know, it's AZN. He was destroying at the end as well on Scout.
Yeah, doing sniper things. Let's see if VNC can change it up though and be a little bit dynamic in this game. Figure out how they're going to take down this AZN sniper. But AZN once again back up on this scout for this next mid fight as it's going to come in here. But at the moment, taking it nice and slow. They're going to meet up with the rest of their team before they try and scrap with one another. And they're just going to be firing stickies across this point. But once again, both soldiers bombing around onto this point. They do find Yak straight away. AZN getting picked up by the soldiers. Poi is going to have to surf around as well in the back line just to get away from Dwoe and Corbat. But Elikor landed some nice pipes on the other side onto Vanu to keep his own medic alive. But it looks like VNC have managed to take this point with two soldiers and the scout in tow.
Yeah, Elikor dropped very weak there. He wasn't able to contest that. So actually, it was a pretty even fight. I really like those soldier bombs actually from top 5. They landed really nicely on Yak, picked him off quickly, and then Korvac kind of beefed, but it was also a nice dodge from Poi. Poi survived, and then now it's going to be equal Ubers. And it's now rotated the opposite way around. We'll see how VNC defend the point whilst also having Uber.
So they're going to be running in here, trying to get on top of Patchouli. No scouts currently with Patch though. He goes down to half HP and does actually use out the supercharge, but Neo actually going down here, so no scout in the super whatsoever. It's going to be Elikor bombing backwards with this Uber, and that's not what you want to see. The entire French team stuffed into a corner. Vanu is currently on the chase. They're going to have Korvac still in though, and Hai's trying to find that kill. He eventually does get it, and they lose Vanu for it, and it looks like now VNC are going to be able to retain this point. But Patchouli building up a slight Uber ad, and also we've got that ever so lustful AZN sniper on the French side once back in play.
Yeah, that was actually really intelligent from Yak, right? Because even though it looked like it was a terrible Uber, they had a sniper on their field. They only had one scout. So actually, they managed to use the Uber to get people around, as we are going to see a fight coming around from the Frenchies. And oh my god, KN just absolutely destroys AZN. And I think they've kind of worked out now how to counter it. That's 2 rounds. Oh my god, what a sick direct there from KN. He's dodging, he's wasting so much time. And actually, that was really, really well played. So, yeah, I think what Yak's done here is really, really smart. He's taken that aggressive fight to use the Uber to get positioning so that he could just flank round onto the sniper, completely deny that space. So you're going to see an exchange of Ubers now, and looks like it's just going to be a reset. Vanu's going to overextend on the flank, but Tyram's going to be trying to go onto AZN, and actually he's going to feed through. Nice pipe there from Elikor, and looks like the Frenchies should be able to retake the point now.
Yeah, looks like you're going to have Yak bombing in towards Patchouli. Cannot land the pipes, unfortunately, and KN goes in as well and just feeds his life away, and unfortunately they're going to be unable to do anything here. But definitely the right idea, bombing onto the sniper. I mean, they've only got Neo currently in play on Scout because of AZN being on sniper, so you've only got one class that's really denying these bombs. So as long as they recognize that, they can either go for Patchouli or they can see where Neo goes and just bomb onto the medic instead. So they've got options here in this game, but KN going to be bombing in, has managed to slip through this forward hold. That's because AZN and being on sniper is not actually too good when you're forward holding. They lose Elikor for it as well, which is terrible. And AZN currently sniping from the cliff face. It looks like they're going to be able to slip the rest of the team in. AZN needs to make a rotation. Terror's going to be bombing in, and Patchouli just gets murdered on 93%, and AZN unable to do anything to stop that soldier coming in. But it looks like Poi goes down as well to a bomb from Duo. So now we've just got AZN versus 2 scouts. It looks like any day of the week he's going to fail and lose this one.
No chance. Elikor as well, feeding in.
Oh.
Nice, Sticky. Is he going to get the pipe? Oh, he's so weak. He's going to back off here. They do actually have the point still, so it's actually still going pretty well for VNC this round. Is that a crit screeg I see? It is a crit screeg on Patchouli. Is he going to go down? No, Tyram's going to get good damage, but he's going to go down. Actually, Patchouli's had to back off all the way around. This is the opportunity. Yak's going to be bombing in as well. They're taking every chance. Poi's going to go down in the backlines as well. And all of that just to get Patchouli, and it didn't work at all. Yak's going to be the last person. They know where he is. And yeah, he's actually just delaying his death massively now. Gets piped and then scattered down, and yeah, that was an interesting decision. So far, I'm not really agreeing with how they're playing the map, BNC, in terms of leaving Poi alone a lot of the time. I think it's great that they're taking the aggression to minimize the sniper threat, but they're kind of always leaving Poi by his lonesome, and the soldiers are just capitalizing that. Callback is constantly on him.
Yeah, let's see what they can do here. Looks like it is going to be some kind of sack wave here. As Fugazi and Tyram going to be bombing all the way in deep. And Patchouli with a beautiful surf all the way around the back of house. Going to be running into house, up the staircase. They cannot get him. Patchouli doesn't have to use their incredible surf and survivability there from him. But of course, being on that crit streak, it doesn't actually matter whatsoever.
Yeah, and I wonder if Yak got close enough there to see that they're on crit screen, because obviously if they did, then Patchouli knows full well that he's either got to use it as a surprise, which it looks like Elikor might be getting in a position to try and like sticky the med as he's coming out. They are actually pushing with a pyro just in case they were forward, and the crits comes out. Tyram's going to go down, but not to the crit sticky, to the trap, and the crit's actually going to be over. The Uber gets used. AZN's going to go down as well, so it's 5v5 right now, and let's see if the Frenchies want to recommit.
It looks like now they're going to be bombing in here. Dwo is on top of Poi. They take him down. The Pyro from Vanu is currently in play. He's taken a leaf out of my playbook, which is not the one you want to be taking plays from whatsoever. And looks like now he's going to just die in main. And he's just not going to do anything here on this Pyro class. It's like Yak is going to get bombed and killed against the wall. And this French team is going to be able to retain this point. But 6 seconds left on the clock for VNC. Not out of it just yet.
Yeah, but again, Poi was left by himself. I mean, Dwo's bomb wasn't really that impressive. You know, he had more than enough time to get 3-4 rockets off on Poi. It's just really not good enough on a map like Product, where you should, I mean, I know they had a pyro, but you should be having a scout, you know, on the medic's arse constantly. So they're going to use crits again. Oh my god, they destroy Vanu and Poi. Tyram's going to go down as well. This looks like it's going to be like almost like a reverse sweep. You know, the Frenchies had so much time to cap versus VNC. It looks like VNC are just feeding, not playing with one another this round, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-0 so far.
Yeah, it looks like it's very unfortunate for VNC. They're just getting picked on now. Cyberbully next to their spawn here with only 11 seconds remaining. Can they kill enough players? It looks like the answer is actually going to be yes, as AZN and Callback go down, and Elikor is too weak to continue fighting in the front line. So Dwo's going to have to jump all the way back here. And VNC have managed to get back to the point, and they have all their players alive. These respawners are not going to make it in time here. They're taking it back. 2 seconds remaining. No one's on the point. And also they lose Patchouli, so it's going to be 1-1 as the scoreline. We spoke way too soon.
Yeah, I jinxed it. Caster's curse. It's over.
It's there.
That's it. It's gone. No, I think Patchouli had like 96% there at the end, so it was so close, you know. Anything to be able to block the point there and just make sure that, because obviously once Yak's team had capped there, then, you know, the Frenchies had the better spawns, but unfortunately they just didn't come quick enough, and it is going to be 1-0, so hopefully BNC can play a bit better this time. We see the same bomb from Gully as before. Poit's going to get bombed, and that was a nice counter bomb from Korvac. Actually, he's going to pick up Vano as well. Is he going to get... Oh my god, how is he alive?
He's a miracle worker, honestly. He just managed to slip away from every single situation. Hai and Tiram also going to be retreating back in towards their spawn as well, but Patchouli managing to survive that mid-fight as well doesn't mean that he's going to retain this Uber that he's now back onto. So no more fancy crit screens coming out here. We've got AZN also sticking to his scout class here to deny these bombs that were coming in, and it looks like now VNC are going to be looking to get some kind of sack attempt going as they're all gearing up in main. And they're going to be making their way in towards this point. They're just going to be actually capping this point a little bit here, getting a little bit of cap time here, and they're just dragging these players forwards a little bit before they go for the sack play. But Patchouli now has his Uber in play, and they can take an aggressive Uber here, but Poit already sitting really far back. Understand the situation, the sack is about to come out at any point now. But looks like they're kind of calling it off as Vanu goes down, and they're just going to wait for this Uber eventually to come in for Poit by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's funny. It's almost like AZN suddenly realised that 2 scouts on product is better than running a sniper, no matter how good he is. And they looked so much more comfortable ever since he's been running scout. Yes, he was getting picks on sniper, but it was also meaning that his team was having to play around him a lot more than, you know, him playing with his team. So Dwyer is actually going to get picked up on the flank, and the flank's actually going really heavily on. So AZN's going to go down as well. We're going to see Korvac trying to pressure them back as well. Nuthouse is going to get picked off, and actually it's a 2-for-1 right now. The Uber exchanges is better for VNC, and Patchouli's just stuck in the middle. He's going to get launched up. He's going to go down. Patchouli and Elikor both dying at the end there, and that should confirm a slight advantage for Poi.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Elikor just got caught way behind the Uber there, unfortunately for him, just on the other side of the point, unable to really do too much. But AZN back on Sniper. So, honestly, resident sleepers in chat if you just hate Sniper on product. But AZN making it look horrific for this VNC side. I would not want to be them right now, but just getting sniped down on as the bomb comes in across the cliff. Korvac air shots at KN. But Korvac ends up in the face of Tiram. He goes down. It looks like now they're just going to take this refire on the point. Dwo is too weak to continue fighting. Neo goes down here. Massive space coming in for the side of VNC. They can get on top of AZN whenever they feel like it. And Dwo managing to surf across that cliff as well, but AZN just sniping from the base of cliff now, and it looks like they're just going to regroup in this corner, but the cap firmly in the hands of VNC still, and Elikor's going to get caught in this corner as well. So VNC here remaining in control of this point on a basically even Uber situation.
But that was my point, right? The reason why Elikor died there is because he went out to help his sniper. If AZN is on the scout there, they don't put Elikor in a position where he's having to feed into to protect his sniper. You know, it doesn't matter how good you are, it's just really not working for them. You know, he's getting picks, but they just seem to be playing with so much more cohesion once he's on scout. Oh my god.
KN just dumps the AZN, so that's what you get for playing sniper. But oh yeah! What an air shot from him! That pipe was massive! Hit him basically in the skybox. That was nuts! Well played from him, but now, once again, VNC retaining this point, but they didn't lose all their players for that one, so unable to really do too much here to defend the rest of this point. And AZN remaining on that sniper, going to be running across onto China, so looks like now the cap back in the hands of the Frenchies, but time advantage currently for VNC, and if they can retake this quickly, they will remain in control of this game.
Yeah, so it's pretty equal right now. The clocks are basically the same. You're going to see AZN on the sniper still. And it looks like, I'm not sure exactly what VNC are trying to do here. They're trying to poke around. Banu is trying to pressure the flank, but right now, looks like top 5 are pretty fine to play this more passive playstyle and just wait for AZN to kind of open it up.
Yeah, looks like now they're just taking their time here with this one. The spam game is continuing, and AZN just going to be sniping on the cliff. It looks like he's using the cozy camper, so he's actually not taking that many heals on sniper. He's that confident that he won't get headshot by an enemy sniper. And KN's diving in. He actually skip jumps off Korvac's head and ends up inside of cliff. He kills off Korvac, obviously, because he does so much damage. AZN is now isolated and on his own while the French team just move forwards. And Vanu currently in behind. They do get the force onto Patchouli as well. And Poi nowhere near his Uber, so he doesn't have to do anything at all here. And it's going to be Dwo on the cliff on his own going down. And the French team are going to cap up this point, but that could be to their own detriment here. If it's going to just allow this team to get back onto this point. Poi serves it all the way back as Patchouli goes down as well. Elikor, the last remaining player, actually dies to full damage. As KN cuts him off at the pass.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lol in chat from KN there. That was deserved. I don't know. That was that's just miscommunication, right? KN was stacked. He was there that entire time. He killed AZN, he killed Patchouli, and then Elikor then bombs back into KN, and you know, he just Kratos to his death. So actually, looks like VNC are taking a firm control over this round. This is their round to throw right now. 80% on Poi. They're going to see a big bomb in from Dwo, trying to get onto the medic. He's running so low. Oh my god, the rocket from Korvac is going to save them.
Oh my god, that's not what you want if you're on the side of VNC! And now the French is just going to be running in here. Kane with a beautiful rocket to Neo to deny him from getting any further into the fight. And it looks like he's going to be able to receive a pack here. But all while KN is surviving, they're not focusing on this cap at all. They're looking at him high-bombing onto Patchouli. They might go in, they might go down. Elikor landing the pipes to save his medic. Incredible stuff from him as Patch is just going to go back, get a pack and remain with this 91%. And now there's 0 seconds remaining for VNC. But will they be able to retake it with this full Uber Disad?
You know, it's going to be tough. They do have time for a sack wave, but they got to get on with it. And I think because their soldiers died so late, they kind of just got to dry push this and hope that okay, this is very interesting.
Oh my god! You just get double air shot and then shot into the floor. And this French Uber is terrible.
Why did they use there? Why? They had 50 seconds with full ads. They could just hold the point. Why?
Oh, no.
Why did they do that? I'm so confused right now. Who made that decision?
Who's making the call?
Did they forget that they killed Poi? Like, the only thing I can assume is that they thought they had like a slight advantage and they needed to get Poi, because that's what they did, right? They all bombed Cliff. But I am so confused right now why they did that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And maybe they wanted to go for the jugular, you know. You managed to get the kills there, and you actually end the round. They did an all or nothing play they didn't need to do, but Elikor getting double air shot there, just really unable to do anything at all. And now they're taking a really, really slow fight. ATM back up on Sniper. Yak's called him out in the chat now for playing Sniper. And also, we've got a crit screen currently in play. But Poi, down to 50 HP, is going to need a pack before he uses this one out. So let's see how this goes. Samski, it could be a high one.
He's getting headshot. They needed to pressure AZN. The crits is coming out, but it's not really doing anything. AZN's going to get... he got destroyed again.
Oh, he's just eating shit this game, apparently. But it looks like they managed to get Vanu as well in the backline. And Dwight's going to be bombing towards the point. Good damage has been dealt by him. So the initiation is currently there. But Patchouli has that full Uber to play with. So I have no idea how VNC are even going to attempt to contest this one. But they did manage to get a very, very fruitful... How long is it going to be? 14 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, you know what's worse is the fact that no one died, so they've now got not only 100% ads, but they've also got a forward hold with 2 soldiers and 2 scouts, because AZN died, so therefore he can then get out. Suddenly, I don't know how, but Tiram's managed to bust Cliff by himself against the demo. Okay, but then they just wanted to spawn and completely destroyed them. What is going on?
They are all appearing to be dead, and it looks like everyone's on a manhunt now. Can they get Tiram? And the answer is absolutely unequivocally yes. As they're actually going to be able to break this forward hold by the looks of things, but there should not be a world in which the Poi dies there. No,
I'm confused as to how Poi died, but I'm also confused as to how they managed to bust so effectively there with the Uber, without getting Poi alive, you know, back into spawn. But nevertheless, let's focus on this this fight. We're going to see some aggression from KN. He's going to get completely destroyed by Callback. Nice headshot from him. The scouts are being up. Dwo is going to absolutely wreck Poi. And yeah, we're seeing some nice rockets right now.
That was incredible. What a lovely air shot coming up from Dwo. And it looks like now, once again, VNC have fed their entire team and they're all dead. So the crumble is on the way. But by the looks of things, one thing that I didn't mention before the start of this is that I believe the rules around Golden Cap on product have been changed.
Yeah, thank the Lord, because it was the stupidest rule ever created.
It was so dumb. So we are going to see one team taking away 3 points in this official, and it could be either one of them at this point. But it looks like the French team have managed to get themselves together here. But once again, busting onto this cliff, somehow getting out. They get ACN, they get Elikor as well. This double soldier aggression coming out of the cliff as well. And Tiram getting super aggressive. And it looks like I have no idea. Boy, no! He's dead.
This Poi's been dead more than he's been alive in this game right now. He's just constantly getting destroyed by the French soldiers. And Dwo's going to pick up Yak and Nuthouse at the end there. Tiram's going to spawn Camp Elikor, but actually this is really strange. KN and Tiram are both behind them right now. KN's going to get picked up, and Neo's on an 8 kill streak right now. And Tiram's inside spawn. He's forgot the fact that Korvac can just sit inside his own spawn door, and Tiram's going to get cleaned up by Korvac. And whilst that distraction happened, VNC decided to cap and gave Tiram a 17-second respawn time, so that's not really working for them. And Nighthouse is going to go down, and now they're going in. Julie's going to die, and that was all for nothing because Poi died anyway.
And it looks like they're going to be delaying this capture as well. It's so close to getting capped. But they delayed Patchouli. Dwo just skip jumps onto the points like, lol, nope. And now Poi's going to respawn. And that Uber advantage that they would have had is just going to be completely crushed here. So now they're going to be able to get VNC back out onto this point here. And they're going to have favourable spawners. Elakor is super weak, still hasn't received healing. But Hai and Varney are already on this point. The refight is going to happen any second for the French team. As Elakor's walking forward, trying to get a sticky stink onto these scouts. Can't quite do it. And Neo and also is super weak as Varney just runs at him. Tyram is in on the back line as well, gets Dwo as well. Callback takes the next 1v1 with him. But they're just flooding these players in.
KN just, okay. Well, they were so focused on Tyram that KN just waddled onto Patchouli and just killed him. That was, again, it seems like both teams are kind of just forgetting about their medic and keeping them alive, and especially Poi's team. Right now, I think Poi's got a massive advantage. This is a really good opportunity for VNC to get back into this this round. Did I hear a heavy? Did I hear a Putus?
You do hear Poots. They're pulling it out. This is the secret source that VNC were hiding. I told you at the start of this. Maybe they've got some secret strategy they're hiding from everyone. This is it. It's Vanu Heavy versus a sniper. Literally the opposite of what you would think would happen in this game. But AZN getting chucked off that high ground. Now Vanu should be running forwards, but we're seeing a pause. Do you reckon this is a tactical pause?
Yeah, I'm going to hypothesize that the Frenchies win this round, and then Yak has a mechanical problem with his PC. And yeah, he's probably like punched his screen or something. He's got to change it out quickly, and they're having a team talk at the same time. They're really discussing how to counter the AZN sniper.
Yeah, maybe they've done like what Mia Kitsune did at LAN, which is just kick your PC so hard it turns off. But maybe here, this could be a tactical pause. If this might be that the Frenchies have managed to win this round here, and that VNC are trying to come up with some kind of strategy and what they want to do here to make it forwards, or is someone that has just disconnected horribly in the middle of a fight. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But I can't call it at this point. It's kind of terrifying, I won't lie.
How long this is try and get the dirt and work out what's actually going on. But right now, both teams are really in a weird position. Patchouli's got 50 advantage, and he looks like he should be pretty safe, right? He's sitting in spawn, so I said hypothesize before. I meant hypothesize. You know, you get your words mixed up sometimes. I don't know what hypothesize means, but that's definitely not a word, so apologies for that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how VNC play out the rest of this round, whether they decide to get really aggressive on Patchouli, knowing that they've got Disad now, and AZN's on Sniper as well, or if they're kind of just going to sit back and try and just get for picks and set up a double bomb and get behind them again, because that's been pretty effective thus far. Tyram and KN have been pretty annoying, constantly bombing behind, and that's obviously, again, one of the issues with running a Sniper instead of a Scout, is just have less of that aerial denial unless you're hitting nut shots, which actually, since the first round, I haven't really seen that much impact from AZN. I'm sure he's doing damage, I'm sure he's hitting body shots and etc., but I've not really been seeing like constant, headshots ringing out from him like we're used to. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of that at the start, where he's landing headshot after headshot, but maybe it's wearing thin. I mean, when you get to this point in product, I think that everyone is getting a little bit knackered at this point. We've been playing product for this long, and you're starting to get a little bit tedious and blah blah blah. People start making mistakes. You've played your 2 warm-up games before this. Now you're playing your official, and I think everyone's starting to get worn down a little bit. And this is where you're going to see AZN hit a lot less headshots, I think. But you would think he's a professional at this point. He should be able to withstand that kind of thing, but no, it does seem to be the case. He's just landing more body shots than he is headshots at this point in the game. And I do think you are right in that they had a much more solid game plan and solid game style when they had AZN on the Scout instead of the Sniper class, because now they have to run 2 soldiers versus 2 Scouts as opposed to the other setup. But it looks like we are seeing the unpause come in here. Bomb's coming in from Tyram, and he kills off AZN, and Dwo hits a nasty airshot.
Yeah, but AZN did die, so I think that bomb was 100% worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you massively. But it looks like Yak set up a sticky trap and he's gone in the fall.
He's back alive now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh.
As we are going to see, my HUD is broken actually, so I can't see how much Uber is left, but I assume that Patchouli is pretty close right now.
Yeah, he has it, and he's used it out here. He's going to be running in onto the low ground with Elacor, but it looks like they are going to be able to clean up Poi, Fugazi, and Hai as they all get cleaned up here in this low ground. But Tiram in behind doesn't actually get the thing onto Elacor here, but they will just delay this capture of the point. They are just going to be standing on, and they get the capture through. And looks like he did actually get delayed spawner in the end, as the French team just do not care about their demo man whatsoever.
Yeah, and just in other news. Oh wait, actually there's only 15 seconds left, that's going to have to wait. We are going to have to see VNC try and break this hold. Ubers are relatively equal, they're not going to be as part of this fight unless Patchouli completely baits. AZN's going to get a nice headshot there, but Neo trades off. And it's back and forth right now, but AZN's going to hit another headshot. He's going for the hero shot. He's going through connector, going for Poi, and I wonder, you know, my prediction was pretty accurate there. I'm assuming this is when the pause is about to happen, right? And yeah, at the end of the round.
Yeah, so it's a tactical pause. By the looks of things, I don't see anyone disconnected.
So I think they didn't have the right config or something. The time limit looked like it wasn't correct. So we're going to see AZN running sniper to mid once again. So let's see how VNC want to play this out. But as you mentioned before, whoever takes this round takes all 3 points. There's no golden cap anymore. As Nuthouse is going to go down straight away. And Neo's going to get traded off as well. It's chaos right now. There's 4 players on their cliff. And AZN's going to get KO on as well. But Duo's taking some shots there. And Vanu's going to pick him off as well. Everyone's trying to go onto Patchouli. And Tiram's so weak. He's sitting there behind. Vanu's trying to get in as well. And it looks like Patchouli is going to be able to run out. AZN gets picked off by Yak, but to no avail. And actually, Poi wasn't really healing anyone during that whole fight. So Patchouli has an advantage whether he knows it or not.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the VNC when they lost that last round that they had a chat about what they wanted to do, and the plan was literally chuck bodies at AZN and just run over them. They did exactly that. The sniper was, for the most part, in a very poor position for the rest of that fight, but AZN now back on that high ground. But the Uber comes out here onto Yak. They get on Patchouli and get the force out, but this has allowed Fugazi and Tiram to get in the backline. Yak actually bombs forwards and ends up on cliff, having to take a one roll with the scale, which is not a situation you want to be in if you're a demo man. But Elacor now forced him to the corner, actually goes face to face with Yak and receives a pipe to the chin, and AZN is just sniping from concrete. Bird scouts have spotted him though. Smell blood in the water. They will be running at AZN, running back through connector, but he's just ducking and diving, does eventually go down, but VNC retaining this aggression here.
Oh my god, that bow from Poi nearly enabled, you know, just absolutely enabled Nuthouse to just keep running forward and destroy him, but he does get a nice direct to the face, and looks like top 5 should be recapturing this point in no time.
It looks like they're going to be on top of it now, just with that 3 times capture rate, and it looks like VNC going to be chilling out on this left-hand side. They're not going to be doing too much just yet. They see AZN's currently back up on the sniper. They spot the sniper dot coming away from China, but he's on that little, like, the spot by China that's kind of like just off the edge, so whether they see him or not is another question, because you will only see pixels of him. Once again, rotating around to China, and they see him on this cliff now as Hyde's just going to be running in, just retaining this aggression, running in after them again and again and again, but Patchouli currently has this advantage. Whether they want to use it or not is another question, as AZN brings out another headshot onto Vanu there, unable to really do too much, and Corback going to be bombing in onto this cliff just to get the space, but Yak looks like he's going for a bit of a solo stack onto Patch, can he land the pipes? Nearly! He's super weak, Tiram's going in, absolutely denied, unable to do anything else, but a really, really nice attempt coming out from Yak there.
Yep, and going to see equal Ubers now. The French is going to be looking to equalise the time and perhaps take over. AZN's had a lot more impact in this round already than he has in the most recent of rounds, so we are going to see what he can do. He's going to pick off Yak, and that's a massive pick before the Ubers come out. Looks like VNC have going to use, and Julie's actually in no position to use there. There's no pressure on him whatsoever. Vanu's actually going to pressure, and he's going to... that's a questionable pop there. Headshot's going to ring out, double headshot onto AZN, and yeah, AZN's just hitting everything right now. Yeah,
it seems to be the case, but they are in a situation where it's now even Ubers, so they can go for the normal game style now that they've got these Ubers out of the situation. But Yak, nice pipe onto Duo, but even better arrows coming out from Poi to keep Yak alive as he took that engagement. So really, really good stuff. But now AZN is alone on cliff. This opens up opportunities, and KN smells that he wants this sniper, and he does find it, as this capture time is currently coming in as this fight is taking place. Lovely rockets again from KN to Neo, just to save his own existence. But Elacor landed some nice stickies into pipes to take down KN on that point, not letting him escape any further. And it looks like now Tiram bombing up to cliff. Can he find Patchouli? He hits the surf. He's in so deep. And Patchouli is around the cliff. Can they find him? Yes! They do!
Oh, massive sticky there from Yak. I was about to say, it's weird, you know, that pause really has like allowed AZN to get the composure back again to start hitting shots. It's weird how that synced up with the pause, but you know, Poi's just going to get destroyed by Elikor, and AZN's just going to wipe off Anu, and that was really strange. I don't know how Elikor just had the space to be able to just walk forward and pipe Poi in the face, but okay, Nighthouse just got destroyed.
Yeah, he just got put in the floor. I mean, Poi there needs to run back into the cliff at least. We can get a little bit of movement. I mean, he was standing still waiting for his fate, but AZN, once again, hitting a crazy headshot on the floor there onto Yak, and that was very, very upsetting if that's the case. But you know, Patchouli, once again, has this uber advantage to play with. I mean, the clock is currently ticking down. It's still in VNC's favor, so they do have time now to get a sack wave going. Sticky's currently on the rock, which is not a place you want them to be in if you're the soldiers sacking. Hyde just managed to spot them out, though, so these soldiers should come up with another game plan, but they jump together. The Stickies are dead, but they managed to jump over them, and Yak goes in super deep, gets air shot down, and they're unable to really find too much of it, but Patchouli does get forced in the end.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? From this round, you'd think that the Frenchies have like been dominating the clock, but actually they've only just overtaken VNC, and VNC now have 100% ad. So this is going right down to the wire. It should do. Maybe we're going to see a hero play from AZN to get onto Poi. Let's see what goes on. AZN once again gets Yak just before the Uber happens. It's almost like they're pushing from the same angle, and that's got to be it, right? That's it.
Oh, that's got to be all she wrote. I mean, players get flung in the air. They're not even going to find one kill here. Callback going in for Tyram. Tyram gets chucked in the air. And headshot again. Nail in the coffin from AZN in the form of these sniper bullets. And now they have one last fight left in them. And these players need to run to this point rapidly. 5 seconds remaining, Sam. And it looks like now they're going to be darting forwards. Good damage has been dealt. The sniper's not hitting any shots, which is actually good for them. They're flooding this point. They are managing to get the capture time down. But it looks like Poi having to set up this point. Headshot brings out from AZN to Yak. And now they do get this capture. So they have to hold on to this 52 seconds. AZN jumping all the way back, and they do manage to pick him off here. They're not out of this yet, Sam.
Yeah, we're going to see if they got the terrible respawn times right now. They're trying to build up the Uber as quickly as possible because the Frenchies do have it right now. It's interesting to see whether AZN, he is going to be on scout. And we do have, I think we have crits out for Blue. Poi is on crits right now. They're going to use it, but the Uber's going to come out straight away. And this is already terrible. Tyram's gone down. They've been pushed outside of the point, and they're already trying to play the point here. They're getting flashed by everyone, and Dwo's destroying. Oh my god, it's all over.
Oh, 3-2 is the scoreline. GG is the call, but an excellent performance coming out from Venomcrest Pythons, defying all the odds. We thought this French team was just going to absolutely dick on them, but that was not the case whatsoever. But when you've got to rely on this AZN sniper on product, I can see how hard it is to play into someone that's like this. It's just absolutely absurd. But really, really well played there from Venomcrest Pythons. You got to give them the time of day after that performance on product against a team that just seems to be way more experienced, and they were playing against a bunch of veterans. So GG's.
I think I've just witnessed the highest airshot count that isn't granary, and that is KN. He has 20 airshots.
Oh my god!
I think that is the highest airshots that I've ever seen that isn't granary, which obviously has the bug on the pipes. That is pretty insane. But yeah, as you can see, you know, Neo dropping 40 kills, AZN dropping 40 kills, AZN on Sniper dropping over 400 DPM. You know, it's just, you know, when you're hitting that much consistency, you know, you know, that last round, he was just hitting everything, and it was really, really hard. Yak got dropped almost from every single Uber towards the end of that game, and, you know, it just closed out the game for them. You know, AZM with 14 demo picks in that game, so it really had Yak's number.
Yeah, indeed. And if you look at the consistency in deaths across the explosive classes and the flank scout for VNC, you'll notice that we've got 32, 35, 32, 32. So you're just seeing that all these players just really dying on the same wave by the looks of things. So once again, remaining on the same pace throughout this entire game. But you got to hand it to Patchouli. He survived so much stuff in this game. In the 31 minutes of pure deathmatch that we witnessed, he only died 9 times, which is super impressive, especially when you're playing against a Crits Creek and this demo man bombing in your face, and you only have 1 scout. You really got to hand it to Patchouli for his performance in this match, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and it certainly does help the fact that the soldiers weren't bombing Patchouli most of the time because they were so focused on killing the sniper. So I think that certainly was an attribute towards his low death count. But yeah, no, really well played from Patchouli. And you know, in the end, they had so many more Ubers, 5 Ubers, you know, across the whole game, which you know, is a big thing, especially on product, just being able to keep your players alive. And at the end there versus the crits, for example, he was able to just flash everyone on point and keep them all alive whilst they capped it, and that's what closed out the game.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff there. But coming out on top is the Frenchies. They finished with 175 kills versus the 109 on Venomcrest Pythons, which is actually a massive kill score difference. But when you look at the amount of ground that was actually taken in the end on that clock and how they played around it, they just seem to have their number down the entire time. So yeah, it's an absolutely amazing game, and I look forward to seeing more of this VNC going forwards in the next few games. But we're seeing now that on the scoreboard that they're sitting currently on 6 points, but they definitely have what it takes to face up against some of these other teams currently in Prem on the side of VNC. But also excited to see how top5rocket do coming out the back of this one, if they're going to learn anything having faced Venomcrest Pythons, or if they're going to be going away and looking at these demos and thinking, wow, we played so badly. So we'll see what happens here, I guess.
And I'm interested to see who they're playing in week 3, because again, it will be on product. It's League of Shadows, so be interesting to see. Flick's probably in Twitch chat right now, and he's like trying to think about how he's going to be able to counter this Asian sniper. So I wish him luck in doing that, because it's pretty obvious that it wasn't very difficult. But something pointed out in chat, actually, that's a really big point, and you alluded to it as well, is the amount of kill difference between the two teams was just ginormous, and yet it was so close. It went down to the last 20 seconds, right? So there's something definitely there, even though the Frenchies are probably thinking, yeah, we outplayed them, and we got so many more kills, and they're looking at their logs and getting excited. Actually, they didn't really play it very well, because we mentioned a couple of times that they were getting all of these kills, but they were never playing the cap. And actually, VNC did a really good job of just constantly getting that clock running down. So I think they shouldn't get disheartened by this score, and deserved 3 points from the first map, because they really did control that map.
Yeah, they did indeed. Amazing stuff from them. But coming out of this, it's going to be a draw for this week's official between Venomcrest Pythons and top5rocket. So GG's all round. But I don't have much else to say other than, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Insomnia 69 coming up in August. So be there or be square. Tickets are on sale now. And also, it has been announced that TF2 is going to be a part of it with the tournament. So get set up, get your flights booked, get your hotel sorted, and get those goddamn BIOC tickets sorted as well. And we'll see you all then in August. But any shout outs from our boys, Dr. Underscore, if you want to unmute your mic for being a production boy? Nope, you not got any? Wow, incredible. He's got no shout outs. Sam, any shout outs from you, bud?
Yeah, shout out to KN for 20 air shots.
Yeah, bloody massive, yeah. Jesus Christ, that's so many air shots. But shout out to you, Dr. Underscore, for producing today. Incredible stuff, as per usual. Really a thankless job, so thanks so much. Samski, shout out to you as well for being my co-cast today. Always an absolute pleasure. Shout out to both the teams, and for you guys in Twitch chat for viewing us today, and shout out to the Samir fan club. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in this evening, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace, guys.